Welcome to another JRPT success story. Today here we have a very busy dad, to say the least. Uh, Works as his own business, does it all, and yeah, we're here to really go on about his journey so far because you've been with me, well, how long now, Nick? Like five and a half
It's
months? Nearly
yeah,
6 months next
yeah,
month.
we're lapsing to six. Yeah,
Yeah. So do you want to like quickly just introduce yourself, age, and kind of like what you do for work?
yeah, sure. So I'm 30. Might look a bit older, but no. Work-wise, main job is I do blind installations. We do mainly commercial stuff, so it is a lot of outdoor work as well. Physically, when it comes to do fitting, it is a bit of a physical thing. My other job is I have my own studio in 3D printing. So I balance those during the whole day. But work-wise, yeah, they're one is very bit more pushing on the body, whereas the other one is a bit more chilled. I let the machines do all the work for me, and yeah, that's a bit got myself on what I do.
Yeah, yeah. Plus then the baby and so on. So,
Yeah,
do you know like how was life before joining JRPT? Because if we don't have to say any names or anything, but obviously you were in one coaching program beforehand, right?
yeah,
Where you
and
managed to lose the weight, but then you put it all back on, and
yeah,
that's one thing I say let's not do in this program.
yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel like how was your life before joining JRPT?
Before, as you said, it was so I did have a year sort of in between that previous trainer to joining you after. But in a sense, when I was with them, as you said, I was able to lose the weight, but they didn't really teach me anything. It was just sort of like, here, follow this plan and just use our app, and then you can speak to our people. Everything was sort of virtual. Never really got to meet anyone. So in a sense, it was sort of like all via WhatsApp. It wasn't sort of there's no video calls. You don't speak to anyone personally. Um, that was it. Sort of worked for me at the time, but then it got to a point where it just felt very robotic. It just felt like just copy and paste replies. If there were problems, they weren't sorted, and then that's where I sort of started to fall down. And then as we've spoke before, I've got lower back issues. That was sort of holding me back regarding with the little one, my main job, and just being a bit physical, and that was sort of holding me back regarding the lower back, and then the weight as well didn't help, and that previously was shown as well. So previously it was sort of like, oh, personally, I didn't know how to approach stuff. It's always sort of, I've always been like that. I didn't know how to approach it, always went online with things. And then it was just sort of like, oh, this isn't working. Let me jump to that in like 3 weeks' time, always trying something else out. But yeah, so things were, in a sense, to sum up, hectic,
Hmm.
very uncoordinated, and a bit of a free-for-all on
Yeah,
things. So
I feel, I
just
feel
a
like
very,
one of the best things like we did like with you so far, and like yes, we've lost 10 kilos, but we also got things planned behind the scenes of where to get you next.
yeah,
I think the biggest thing in the last 5.5 months I've seen from you is going from, like I said, because you've got your work ethic. So any plan that you do, if it's in a calorie deficit and if it gets you working, you'll do it in that small amount of time. Because if you
yeah,
anyone that's listening to this, if you've got the work ethic, anything works. Like I'm not going to shy about that. But
yeah,
then
that's
not
100.
knowing not having the skills to then do it long term or really get to the place where you want to be. Because there's a difference in getting to like a mere result, which is I feel like, yeah, you felt good, you felt better, and you
Yeah,
a plan. But then going back up in weight and then being lost again, for me, that's like, what's the point of even doing in the first place, right? You felt good for maybe 3 months, not for the next 10, 20 years. That's the biggest thing like I've seen from you. You've actually the skills that we've implemented, like from counting calories to like training, like your strength optimization, all that, like you've just actually taken those skills and learned it and implemented them into yourself. So that's the big
hmm,
thing for me. And that alone is set you up for the next steps, which is where we're going. So
yeah.
as a coach, that's what I see. It's the skills implementation has been next level, which is what we want to see from like every client. But yeah, would you say that's like one of the things you probably like you mentioned that you missed from like the last program where it's like there was a plan, but there was no actual teaching.
Yeah, I think it's the knowing why you're doing it, why it needs to be done, and it sort of has that sort of backup of being like, oh, uh, making sure you're hitting this amount of protein or carbs or your fats during each meal's balanced is because of this, and this is why it helps. And and there isn't that when I was with the previous coach. But with yourself, I'm always like, I message you, I'm like, oh, what's up with the protein? I'm missing out on my fats. What can you help with? And you're like, just eat more eggs. I was like, okay, fine. And then is that sort of thing of like having that reassurance of being able to say, okay, if I've got that like sort of, oh, who do I ask? And I've got that reassurance of being able to ask you and be like, oh, Joanne can help me out. Joanne can do this. Let's ping a message quickly, and then the response is not instant, but in a sense you've got things going on, but there is a response by the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It just it's like you said, knowing like the why you're doing something, because that then also creates well confidence within yourself when doing it. Like you said, you felt like a bit lost before, even after doing and going with like another training coach. It
Yeah,
was because you didn't know the why. It's like it's that's so big. Um, what do you feel was the because I think what like we first shouted on Instagram, like what do you feel was like the moment um, I don't know. You just were like, I need to take this seriously because obviously you said there was a gap. There was a year gap, so there was
yeah.
sort of like backwards work. Like, what got you to be like, cool, let's actually do this with me.
I think it was a factor of my little one. Um, I was getting to a point where there was one day where because my back had gone completely, I couldn't pick her up, and my partner needed my help for the day, and I
Mm.
was just like, shit, I can't physically do anything at the moment. Like I'm bed bound, I can't stand up.
Yeah,
Um, and that to me was like, no, okay. I know previously it's been part of the weight that helped me regarding my lower back, but I also know it's training and then it's fortifying it as well. So in a sense, a bit of it does come from the lower back issue. But in a sense, I like personally, I knew I wasn't feeling well. I knew something was wrong with myself. It was the constant headaches due to sort of not eating enough food or missing out meals during the day due to work. Um, and then that would just like in a day, it would just ruin from 5 o'clock. I couldn't do anything else.
yeah,
So I would go through my day, 4 o'clock, the headaches would start coming in, 5 o'clock, get off to work, get home, and literally I would just crash out.
crash. Yeah, yeah,
And I would sleep from 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 7 or 6 in the morning. And then
yeah.
and then to me, I'm like, I can't do this because I've got the other business to run as well. And then personally, I know physically and fitness wise, it isn't good for myself. I said to myself, I can't go on like this personally. And that to me, because I'm like, oh, I know I've done it before, but is there a way in which I need to learn or need to sort of implement a manner of
Mm,
being able to say, okay, I need to do this because of that. Or if I need to change anything, why do I need to change it? Or where, and it goes back again to the where, what, and why,
yeah.
and the three W's really.
The three W's. I like. I should use that. It's like be the motto. The three W's. But what do you think then? Like following that was like the biggest like game changer for you, like since you joined. Because obviously the low back, that's the thing we first
Yeah,
straight away, actually strengthening, not just losing the weight.
yeah, we sorted that. That was like sort of first plan, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sort of very grateful on that. Um,
Except getting like
I
really strong.
I think the energy throughout, like I usually tend to wake up at 6 or 7 and I get to bed at sometimes 10 to 11. My energy throughout the day is just constant. If
Nice.
it's a training day, like I finish my workout and it's still constant. Like I'm
Yeah.
not like finishing my workout and sitting in the car and be like, oh, I've got to drive now.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so oh,
That's good because like
the
that's all.
energy's there. The energy is there.
Yeah, that's all the things we even focus on from like even like caffeine intake and all those kind of things, like everything that messes up like your sleep and energy.
Yeah,
That'll be obviously the losing fat will be big and getting stronger because the more muscle you have, the more testosterone, the more well, of a man that you feel. It's simple as that. And now obviously like energy. Like I always say, like energy and testosterone for when it comes to men, it's pretty much the same thing. If you've got more
Mhm.
testosterone, you more likely have a lot more energy. So, and it's a big factor. But yeah, um, I see that as well. I remember in the beginning, it was very like, whoa, I need to do a lot of things, and now it's more you're in that rhythm, and we're just like
Yeah.
optimization mode, which would be cool. I'm like I said, even though it's been 6 months, me as a coach, I'm like, I know in 6 months' time. Like I mentioned like some of the other guys, Sim to the Bro, and have been here like longer. We're like, cool, you're just like on the same path. And that's like super good to see, especially if like a dad with like a work
Mhm.
business kind of just showing up when realistically you've got like million and one excuses to not
Yeah.
like, to just be like, oh yes, because I'm this, I'm that. Um, but yeah, saying that the consistency or like just learning, like a lot of people, well, a lot of dads in your shoes probably say struggle to stay consistent, either because of like I said, the kid or work or whatever. What do you feel helps you stay on track, even like when motivation is a little lower?
I'll be honest, the I think this is a bit outside of the training aspect, but
Yeah.
my partner, in a sense,
Good.
communication between us has to be sort of on ball. Um, at the when I started with you, she hadn't gone off maternity leave, and she only came back into work. It's about 2 months now.
Okay.
And so she does the morning shifts. So she will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go to work, and she's back at home around 9 to 10, and then I'm off to work. Um, that in a sense allows us to balance our work lives,
Yep.
and then also balancing looking over a little child. But it's I relationships are different between people, but in a sense, for myself, what's been a sort of a good drive is the communication and workshop I'm able to have with my partner on how we're able to sort of figure things out. If things important things need to come first, they will be done first,
Yep.
and then I go to the gym. That's how I've sort of done it. So sometimes you see me going to the gym at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and it's literally because I had to do all the important things, kid stuff, get that
Yep.
all out of the way, and then fine. Kid's sleeping, I can go to the gym. Partner sleeping, she wakes up at 3, and I'm still with the kid, or she's sleeping and I'm sleeping. So
It's the
it's a
routine.
it's yeah,
It's a
it's a
routine.
routine, it's a balance, and it's finding for everyone there's a sweet spot. There
Yep.
will always be a sweet spot. And then there's always that sort of thing that a lot of people are like, oh, I can't do that because I've got I can't do that because just do it and then figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Messy
that's
happens
what
first.
that's
That's what I've
that's
always
what
said.
I've just do it and then figure it out. Because sometimes people are scared to take that leap. And then to do that leap, you've got to just do it. And then you're like, oh no, okay, swap that day around. And then we've got more flexibility between ourselves. Or okay, let's do this time, this hour, and then swap that out. So in a sense, it is a very, very sort of controlled balance and sweet spot to find.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone's like different, like you said. And it's, I think one of the big things you said is like communication with a partner, because I'm the same, right? Um, and obviously that's kind of hard when before your energy was so low that you would sleep from 5 p.m. 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like the communication was probably like going down the drain as well, and then it would be like all just a little bit messy. So again, it just shows like the discipline when you have with training. And I talked to this with everyone else the other day. Um, when you have discipline in training, you tend that carries over to the other areas of your life. So like the discipline you guys have like as a couple only works because you two work very
Yeah.
hard in different areas of your life. It kind of compounds. So yeah, it's good, and it's really really important. I feel like anyone even out there, like dads or like mums, even watching this, and it's really normal for like when a baby comes in, the typical thing is that the parents tend to drift apart. When realistically, that's when it should come together and like
Yeah.
find a routine. And then I feel you just smash that as a dad, so it's good. Even with fitness and training, like I said, really good example. But yeah, what do you feel has been the biggest difference with your body, like since starting?
Um,
Nothing.
I think my my a bit of my coordination with time, I'll be honest.
Yes, good.
And that follows through with everything. So it coming down to sort of doing my meal plans, my meal prep for the week. Sundays is when I do my meal prep, 2, 3 hours. That gets food done for the whole week, Monday to Friday. This week I've got until Saturday actually. But doing that on a Sunday. chill. I love to cook, so it's not a big stress for me. But getting that done in one day, five this week I actually did all three meals, so I did breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Nice.
Um, it's just it feels like a time saver for during the week.
Yeah, energy saver
So
and huge
uh,
energy saver.
and then that as well, but it's personally like I used to meal prep previously as well, but again, it wasn't like not knowing the correct foods or planning ahead for the week or what calorie and macro count was I going to plan for the week.
Yeah,
So time framing for sort of smaller things to make your week more efficient. And then again, it comes into balance. Is that being able to balance your time on the weekends to during the week allows you to save time during the week to then be able to do other things like with family and everything else. So time management, really, time
yeah,
management and sort of focus.
yeah. The focus, time management, and like I said, like routine. When that comes all together, like the theory becomes a lot easier
Yeah.
to be at it, right? But yeah, well, what do you think? Well, you kind of answered that. I was going to say, what was working with me as a coach helping your journey the most? But we'll say like time management's probably been the biggest thing. So, I mean, I guess the only thing is like, what would you say to maybe like another dad watching this in their 30s or maybe like late 20s that feels they're too busy to get in shape?
That's an excuse. You're bullshitting yourself. No, but I would say figure out the sweet spot. You do have time. Uh, maybe what I would suggest to do is maybe sort of like look for your weekdays and be like, oh, I actually just spent 2 hours scrolling on Instagram here, or I spent another 3 hours scrolling on Instagram. And then to me, it hit me as well. And I was like, hold on, if I can be scrolling through Instagram for 2 hours, I can go to the gym for 2 hours, or I
Yeah.
could be reading a book for 2 hours. And then it's just like stepping stones, and you understand everything.
Yeah, not going 0 to 100. Like we have to make sure there's like levels to it because if you do if
Yeah,
100, a lot of people do. It's like knowledge is out there. You just end up overwhelming and like building this unrealistic lifestyle, which you can get there, but it's got to be step
yeah.
by
But
step.
no, you've got to do it slowly. Yeah, and
Put
then
like a roadmap to it. Otherwise, you will burn out and you'll just be like, whoa.
yeah, exactly. So it's not a thing of like do it straight away. It's build up slowly, slowly. Check if you can do it. Sort of again, it's the sweet balance of understanding where you can be and where you would like to be, and how you can sort of progress up those steps too.
Yeah,
So, to another dad, I would say if you want to be fit for your children, um, sign up with Joel. He's amazing. Um, But in all honesty, it's a great hand to have someone behind your back and being able to sort of say, okay, today wasn't a great day, but tomorrow is another day. You've got another push, you've got another pull, and you can keep on going. And that's the thing is sometimes you're just like, oh, where do I go now? And it's just like take a step back, breathe, focus, and then go forward. Because sometimes if it's just one day, it's just one day.
yeah.
You've
I
got
have
the
those
next
days.
day.
I still, like,
Everyone
as a
does.
coach, like, I have those days. So everyone,
Everyone does.
yeah, yeah,
But it's I think if you're a new dad, um, your nights will be sleepless. So your energy's got to stay up.
yeah. Literally, 100%. And if it's not asleep, it's got to be done for exercise, food, and
Yeah,
time management, so on. So. It's that is it. You either live to your excuses or whatever saying it is to your abilities. Well, I'm not
yeah,
saying that. But yeah. But yeah, I feel that's it. I feel like yeah, we got like I said, last 10 kilos. We got optimizing to go. I feel the first 6 months has been a lot of just rewiring, rebalancing, a lot of skill learning,
yeah,
and now it'll be like optimization, which really is the fun bit. Is the fun. I would say it's the fun stuff. Um, but yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed. This is literally pretty much Nick just said JRPT in a sense. I always say it's less. Well, it's less about just being a plan like Nick and loads of other clients who I've seen like have had a coach before. It's more like follow a plan, follow this blueprint because it's worked with 10% of the people, and it's way more about coaching and building a lifestyle. Because once you do that, like Nick has, you become pretty unstoppable, and that's the
yeah.
goal.